Hi, I'm Chris and welcome to our how-to video series. In this video, I'll be teaching you how to wax your skis. Waxing your skis is a great way to save money in the long run, and then it also allows you to get a lot better performance out of your ski. You'll notice that you'll glide a lot longer and faster on the flat surfaces, and you'll also have an easier time with turning and things like that. So let's get started. The first thing you'll want to do when waxing your skis is to take a rubber band and loop it around the brake, and then go around the binding and then loop it around the other arm of the brake, and that just holds the brake back so you don't have to deal with it while you're waxing. From there, you'll want to take a nylon pad and clean up the base of the ski, so you'll just rub it to get all the dirt off. And then you'll want to take a rag and just kind of wipe it down from there. And then after you're done with that, you can apply the first coat of wax. Now, the goal with this first coat of wax is to clean the ski. Just like with the car, you don't want to apply the final coat of wax on something dirty. So what this does is it just gets all the dirt and grime that your ski may have picked up on the slope off of the base and prepares it for the final wax. So for this step, it's good to use a universal wax that's really soft because it'll penetrate the base and just get rid of the dirt a lot better. So to start out with, you just take the bar wax, touch it to the iron, and then you'll drip it onto the base of the ski in a zigzag pattern. After you've dripped the wax on the base in a zigzag pattern, you'll take the iron starting at the tip and slowly go over the base to iron in the wax. As you may have been able to tell, this step will take maybe more than one pass, and the same is true for scraping the wax off. You want to scrape this wax off when it's still hot, so you start with your scraper at the tip, hold it at a 45-degree angle to the base, and begin pulling the scraper back. Now, some people prefer to push the scraper, and really it's personal preference. I prefer to pull it just because it's easier to me, but it's completely up to you which method you prefer. Then after you scrape it twice, you want to take a nylon brush and just brush from tip to tail just to polish up the wax a little bit and completely finish the cleaning process. And then also this prepares the base so it'll soak up more wax in the final waxing. So after you're done with the nylon brush, you're going to take the rag and then just wipe down the base to get rid of any of the wax particles that are left laying on top of the base. And then from there we move into the final wax. And for the final wax, you have a little bit of choice. You can either stick with a universal wax, which will be good for a wider range of temperatures, or you can get a temperature-specific wax, which will perform better for a given temperature, but the drawback is usually you have to have several temperature-specific waxes so that when you find out what the conditions are going to be like in the morning, you can grab whatever wax and apply it and be ready to go. But in this case, I'm going to just use the universal glide wax that came in the tuning kit that I got from Swix and start applying it. During this step, it's very similar to the first wax. You apply it in a zigzag pattern. And a lot of people who are just starting out waxing skis, I've noticed, apply too much wax. They think that you need a lot to do a good job, but it's not necessary. If you put too much wax on, it's kind of a waste because you just end up scraping it off in the end. After you're done dripping the wax on, you'll just take the iron and go over really slowly again and melt the wax into the ski. You'll want to be sure that you don't stop the iron. You want to keep a nice fluid motion going, because if you stop in a certain spot of the ski for too long, you risk damaging the base. So while we wait for the wax to cool, I want to hit a couple of points. The first is that when you first start out, you'll want to preheat the iron to the temperature that's listed on the box of the wax. So in this case, the wax says that the iron needs to be set at 130 degrees Celsius. And so I did that before I got started. And you'll know if the iron's too hot because the wax will smoke, and you don't want that. So make sure that there's no smoking when you're melting the wax, and you should be good to go. That brings me to my next point, which is it is very helpful to have a waxing iron. People ask me if it's necessary, and no, it's not absolutely necessary. But the problem with clothing irons is that they have holes in the bottom for the steam to come out, which can present a problem when applying the wax. And then also those holes make it harder to spread the wax evenly on the base of the ski. The next problem is clothing irons don't really have precise temperature control, and so a waxing iron is a lot better in that respect, just because you can control the temperature and make sure that you're not applying the wax too hot, which actually will break down the chemical structure of the wax, and you'll lose performance there. So now that our ski is done cooling off and the wax has had a chance to set up, we'll take our scraper and start at the tip and scrape it. And you want to make sure that you're not pressing too hard. You just want to press hard enough to get the wax to come off, and it may take a pass or two. After that, you'll take your nylon brush and you'll start rubbing it from tip to tail. Then after you've gone over the base of the ski with the nylon brush a couple of times, you'll want to take your scraper and just clean all the wax off the edges. So after you finish cleaning up the edges with the scraper, you're all set. That's all it takes to wax your own pair of skis. If you're looking for more ski-related how-to videos, be sure to click on the ski icon in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Or if you want more information about the Swix Ultimate Alpine Ski Tuning Kit that I've used in this video, I'll include a link in the description so you can check that out. I'll also link to all the other waxing and tuning products that we offer. And that's it, guys. If you have any of your own ski waxing tips that you'd like to share, be sure to leave those in the comments for the benefit of the community. And I hope to see you out on the slopes.